Hey, welcome back. It's Sarah from Roadworthy. So, a little bit different content today. I am in about 10 days' time taking off on a road trip from Seattle to Iowa with my youngest son. And then once in Iowa, then I gotta head back home. And I will end up being on the road for about a month. Um, and so I've had a few family members ask me, what am I eating on the road? And so I thought I would sort of show you all kind of what I do to prepare food for these kinds of road trips. First, let me show you the kitchen in the van because that might give you a little bit of context. All right, this is the kitchen. So up here we've got a sink, and down here we've got a fridge. I mean, this is it. Like, that's it. That's the fridge. So everything we put in here needs to really be worth its weight, its volume. So what I've found is having a lot of random ingredients in here is not a great use of space because I may only use that bottle of ketchup once, twice. And so I've really figured out ways to really kind of maximize this space. For dry goods, I gotta move my stool. This is it. So I've not loaded up yet, but this is kind of it. This is my kitchen towel, but that's kind of it, is for dry goods. So put a lot of produce up here, fruits, vegetables, that kind of thing, and then jars of, dry ingredients or bags of things or whatever will go down here. And then down here, I end up with water bottles, Tupperware, bags, those kinds of storagey kind of items. So now that you've seen the space that I'm working with, oh, and if you're wondering what's going on over here, I was attacked by bugs in the middle of the night. Anyway, so now that you know what I'm working with in terms of kitchen space, let's go inside to the kitchen so that you can see how I I and maximize the space that I have. Okay, so now that you've seen the space I'm sort of dealing with, I don't really have a lot of storage space to pack a lot of ingredients and cook on the road. So I do have a spreadsheet of like basic savory and sweet pantry items, but I find that really for just a couple of weeks, it's too much. And it's too much cooking. And particularly at this time of year, late summer in the West, you kind of have to assume you're going to have a burn ban. So you may not be able to get to cook on a fire, which means you're cooking everything on your little propane stove. And I don't want to be running around buying propane. So when I have to use the stove, I'm really just wanting to heat things up and saute things. That's kind of it. So with that in mind, breakfasts are usually sort of egg and whatever vegetables are left over. And maybe some sausage, maybe some bacon, that's pretty easy. We've also got some oatmeal. And breakfast, that's pretty low key. Lunches, also usually pretty low key, usually sandwiches or wraps. So with sandwiches, there is nothing better after hiking and you get to the top of the hike and you have a sandwich on homemade bread. Yes. So I make packets of bread. So here's all my dry ingredients. And I know I just need to add a cup of warm water and a package of yeast to this to make bread. And I cook my bread on the engine block as we are driving. So if you're particularly interested, I will show you how I cook bread on the engine block. But it is delish. With that, again, oftentimes it's meat, cheese. If I'm able to roast some vegetables on the fire or on the stove, throw those on, delicious. And with that, I make, although this doesn't look like it, I make what a pea pesto. Sounds a little weird, but it is delicious. And so I use this as a sandwich spread. And so you can see I already made some in advance and stuck it in an empty jar, that when I'm out, I can just recycle the jar. The other thing is a sun-dried tomato arugula pesto that I also use as a sandwich topping, but it can also double as a pasta topping. So this is great. So obviously I make this at home in advance, pack it in the fridge, and off we go. That's kind of lunch, or it's leftovers. Dinner. So I'm kind of a big fan of grain bowls. They're easy to do. So I can't make grains on the road. It just doesn't come out good. So I do buy these, and you can get a box of these at Costco. Perfect. But this is great. Just quinoa brown rice. This is a Spanish style with quinoa, peppers, and corn. And then I've got this one here for some cilantro lime rice. So again, throw vegetables on, throw protein on, heat it all together. Perfect. And I have a couple sauces that I make to go on these as well. So this is a harissa lemon tahini sauce. That is super delish. And then this is a miso ginger sauce. So again, this can be Tex-Mexy, this can be Asian-y. This can be, a Tex-Mexy, Asian, Indian, whatever. And then again, Tex-Mexy, whatever. Very easy to adjust those to go with whatever sauces. We also, if you've never made pizza on the grill or pizza on a fire, you're really missing out. Again, that is amazing. I do bring flour with me on these trips. So again, yeast, and then in each of these, I put enough salt, baking powder, whatever, to make a this allows me to do a self-rising dough. So again, just add some flour, add some water, and then this is enough, the perfect proportioning for 2 pizzas. Because the first part of the trip I'll be out going with my son, so this is great. And then we'll have just a can of pizza sauce. Again, get some cheese, and then whatever vegetables and meat we have on hand, throw it on there. Perfect. So that's sort of dinner, and then dessert, which is funny because we don't even eat dessert at home, but somehow when we're on the road, everybody looks at me like, what's for dessert? So we do have a Dutch oven. So again, what I do at home is I make up the dry ingredients for a cobbler. No, this is a fruit crisp, and this is a cobbler. I notice people get very touchy about what they call these particular fruit desserts. Um, and on the sticky note, I just write what other ingredients I need to add, and then plop this on top of some fruit in the Dutch oven, bake it for a little bit, and it's fantastic. And it can double as breakfast in the morning. So that's kind of what I put together for when we head out on the road. So when I'm shopping on the road, I really want to only be able to stop for produce. So again, I make all these sauces and all these other things here because you, depending on where you are, it is amazing how limited the food can be. So I have found personally for me, making these sauces and these things at home, it's just way better than completely relying on what's available out there on the road. So, and I will buy pre-cooked chicken at Costco and other pre-cooked meats to take with like pre-cooked sausages or whatever. Not that I have to, but again, sometimes you pull up to a campsite late at night and I'm just not confident enough that using a headlamp and cooking that I'm going to be able to verify that the chicken is completely cooked through. So to me, I would rather just bring pre-cooked chicken, pre-cooked sausages, and know all I have to do is heat it on the stove. Stay tuned, and I think when we're out and about, maybe I will show you guys some cooking. If you're interested, let me know. And if you're interested in seeing the bread baking on the engine, let me know. Otherwise, that's kind of what we eat. We're on the road. So hope this satisfies folks' curiosity about what we're doing, and we'll see you soon. And maybe with some more van content, maybe with some more bookish content. All right, see ya.